Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and today I want to come to you with just a quick commentary on the state of everything going on in the gun community, and more specifically about the passion that many of you all exhibit when it comes to anything that happens in the world of firearms and firearms politics. I've noticed that it just seems to go week by week by week, that there's just something that's going on that gets everybody fired up. And everyone's talking about civil war and drastic actions. We've had everything from the governor of New Mexico recently trying to suspend the Second Amendment in Albuquerque. We had the story about Liberty Safes and how they gave a combination to the FBI of somebody that was being investigated. We can go all the way back to the ATF pistol brace rule, and before that the bump stock rule, or maybe the Matt Hoover case. It just seems like there's something big every single week. Most of the time it is negative. In the past week we had the ruling out of a district court in Southern California where Judge Roger Benitez overturned California's magazine capacity limit, and everybody is so passionate and fired up and everyone's talking about it, but then everyone just seems to forget what happened in the past, and we just go from one manufactured event to be all upset about to the next. And I have been saying, especially on my second channel where I have talked and said this saying that everyone kind of laughs about, I always say, you all need to calm the F down. And I don't mean that in any type of disparaging way. In fact, I had one commenter say, Jason, how dare you? Do you really think that all of your viewers are all upset? No, I'm talking about the gun community in general. Because you guys know I always joke about the people that only type in the comment section, shall not be infringed. The ATF can't create law, as though it's actually doing something. And I understand and appreciate their passion. But they just go from one thing to the next. And there's a lot of people that make money and gain influence by you being all riled up and all passionate about whatever the topic du jour is for that week. And I hope that you reference this video in the future and realize, oh yeah, last week I was really upset about something, and this week I'm really upset about something different. But nothing really changes. And why is that? And are you being manipulated by either gun rights groups that of course want your money, and they are doing great and noble things, and they are trying to help you, but on the other hand are social media influencers, people that are producing content, and I'm talking about the gigantic channels. Are they blowing things out of proportion when things really shouldn't be out of proportion? A great example is this last week, Joe Biden announced that he was creating some type of organization within the DOJ that's supposed to help combat gun violence. And I saw a few YouTubers call it the Committee of Disarmament or something of that nature. And they're trying to invoke Soviet and communist imagery when it comes to this, saying this is a grand overreach. And I wanted to take a step back and go, well, should you really be upset? I mean, sure, of course, the government is just going to waste money on this, and they're just going to pay the salaries of these people that get appointed to this group exorbitantly and just waste your money, so you can be upset about that. But is the formation of this committee or this group really going to do anything? As I said on the Texas Gun Vault 2, I can already save the government money and tell you what their recommendations are going to be. They're going to say we need assault weapons bans. They're going to say we need magazine capacity limits. They're going to say we need universal background checks. They're going to say we need a universal licensing scheme. They're going to say everybody needs to have insurance. All the things the anti-gunners already want, this organization, which all it's going to do is be an advisory board to the president, is going to tell the president what he already wants and what he only wants to hear. It's going to do absolutely nothing. They're going to have no political power. They can't change regulation. They can't influence law. That's all they're going to be, is an advisory council where they're going to claim that they're doing research. And we all know it's just mental masturbation. That's all this is going to be. But many of these YouTubers were out there calling it the Committee on Disarmament. It's like, well, okay, listen, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of funds and resources, because all this is going to be kickbacks to people that support the president who are anti-gun. That's all it's going to be. We already know what they're going to say, and it's just going to have confirmation bias of the people that want to pass anti-gun laws. But nothing is going to change. So is it really worth getting people all worried and panicked? And I know maybe some of you guys really weren't worried and panicked, but trust me, there's a lot of people in our community that don't know better. Maybe they don't follow politics or understand how our government works. And all this does is get them fired up and rallied up. And maybe one day one of them is going to do something rash because all these influencers are saying the communists are coming. Well, yeah, the communists might be coming, but they're not coming through this Committee of Disarmament. Maybe we should just calm down and look at this through a rational perspective. Look at it through the lens of history and look at it for what it actually is. It's just political theater. So while I think it is important to talk about it, maybe we shouldn't raise the passion level because nothing is going to come from it. But what does it do when it has a thumbnail or a title on that video? The Committee on Disarmament, a communist organization, is coming to take your guns. Okay, you're going to click on it, right? I mean, we're all going to click on it. We all want to see what the heck's going on. And for a lot of us, we might look at it and go, it's really nothing. But for people that are really influenced by this stuff, man, it gives them anxiety. And one day it could push somebody over the edge to do something rash and illogical. And how's that going to help our community? It's not. When they get caught, or they're going to write some manifesto, they're going to say, the Committee on Disarmament was going to take our guts. And then it makes us all look like we are crazy. Another thing on the pro-gun side is this California magazine capacity limit ban that was just overturned, which is great news. But let's be honest, we all knew that Judge Roger Benitez, who has ruled on this in the past, was going to rule this way. We were just waiting for it to come out. It's fantastic news. But if you live in California, can you now go out and buy a high-capacity magazine or a standard capacity magazine? No. Because he put an injunction because he already knows the state is going to appeal it to the next level. And that next level is the Ninth Circuit. And we already know that they're going to defy the Supreme Court because they already have. People are saying, well, they're not going to do anything because of Bruin. Come on, guys. It's the Ninth Circuit. You all know they're going to put an injunction on this. You know they're going to say, okay, we're going to set the date for have a hearing out for a year, 2 years, so the state can do more discovery and exploration of pre-colonial laws to back this up. We want to give them all the opportunity to do that. And until they do, we're going to put an injunction on this. It's just going to go on and on forever. So right now, people who don't understand how our laws work might be going to other states from California or trying to buy standard capacity or high capacity magazines thinking they can now, and they can't. And potentially those people could get in trouble if they're driving across state lines. And I don't want to see that. And those people are going to be like, well, all these political gun influencers were telling me it was overturned. Great news, breaking news. And they don't give you the perspective of what actually is going to happen. They're constantly dashing your hopes because they are saying, great news, this is happening. And then guess what's going to happen literally next week? The Ninth Circuit's going to put an injunction on this. They're going to put a hold, a permanent hold on it until they can hear it. And guess what? That raises your passion level. You're going to click on that. Oh no, breaking news, terrible things, we lose. And you're passionate about it. And now you're upset even more. You're anxious again. It never stops. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be upset or anxious about bad news. We all get upset. I want to see these laws in California overturned as much as anybody else. But I also understand how the system works, and I have to be patient. I don't like how slow the system works, but it's the way it goes. And me being upset about it, me being passionate about it to the point that I go online and just rant and rave isn't going to help anything. It only hurts me. After all, I would be preaching to the choir. I know how all of you feel. We're all on the same page here. So me being upset isn't going to do anything. All it does is raise my blood pressure. And I know at my age, Yeah, I don't want high blood pressure, so I just need to stay calm, understand how the system works. You know, the most important thing that you can arm yourself with in life is not a gun, it's information. It's understanding, it's rational thought, it's logic. And so many people in the gun community always go to their heart and not their mind. I understand why we all go to the heart. We all have feelings, and this is something that we all are passionate about. But I really feel like it is the responsibility of content creators and these gun rights organizations to really put the brakes on the passion and the people that are going to go overboard on this. I think that it is important that they report accurately. They tell you what's actually happening, that they don't give you more hope than what it actually is. It's great Roger Benitez overturned this ban. It's wonderful news, but immediately afterwards they should say, listen guys, you can't go out and buy these magazines now, so don't be surprised in a week when you still can't. And don't be surprised in a year or 2 years when this case is before an en banc panel in the Ninth Circuit, even though the Supreme Court says you can't do it. Don't be upset when they are. We already know what's going to happen. So be vigilant, understand the process, be involved, follow the news, but don't get so riled up. I see it all over the place in the gun community. More on the anti-gun side than the pro-gun side when it comes to the news. And trust me, I want you to start thinking about this. Every single week, something is breaking, something happens. As I said, everything from the Matt Hoover case to the Committee on Disarmament to Liberty Safe. We just go from one thing to the next, and honestly, nothing really happens. But go look at the rhetoric on many of these content creators' channels. You'll see people saying, once again, shall not be infringed. The ATF can't create law. I'm never going to buy from this company again. But what happens? Nothing. Nothing ever happens, but they get you to click on their videos. They get you to be passionate and all fired up and to talk about it, which is great because you should be informed. But just look at the general state of the comments and what people are saying, and you'll find that our community, the temperatures are just rising and rising and rising. And eventually, people that have no self-control, that don't understand what's happening, could do something very rash and illogical and hurt the whole gun community. That day may come. There might come a day when the U.S. military fires upon U.S. citizens because the president told them to. Well, that obviously changes the game. There could come a day when the ATF goes door to door without warrants and kills your dog and arrests you because they suspect you of having a pistol brace. But that day hasn't come yet. So right now we still have mechanisms in place. We have the judicial system, whether or not you trust it. We have a voting system. We have things in place that we can stop this civilly and lawfully, that we should go to before we go off the rails. But it just seems like these people make their living off just getting everyone's anger up and their passions up. And I don't think it's good for our community. We need to rally together. But what ends up happening is some people like myself are starting to see that, well, maybe getting angry and passionate every single time, every single week on whatever the topic is, might not be the solution. And then the people that are angry about whatever the topic is every week come to me and say, you're an idiot, I hate you, I'm never watching your channel, and I'll can list a whole bunch of different words that they call me, terrible names that they call me. When we're all on the same side here, we all want the same thing. But our community is becoming divided because of this anger and this passion. I don't know about you and the trials and tribulations of your life, but I've had some bad times in my life. I've gone through a lot of horrible and terrible things, things that I hate to even think about. And I've been through anger and depression, and I don't want to go back to those places. And so as I've gotten older, I try to avoid going there emotionally. If I don't have to be upset about something, I don't want to be upset about it. I can wait. I can understand the process. I want to be happy in the moment. And I just wish that we could come together as a community, have civil discussions, and not be so angry all the time. Because when the gun community is just constantly angry, I don't want to be around the gun community. And I like to consider myself an integral part of the gun community because I love guns. But also think about how it looks to other people that aren't like us, people that are the fence sitters, people that might vote one way or the other. They don't own guns, or maybe they own one, but they're not passionate like you or I. And they see what happens in the gun community. All they see are angry people that are just yelling online, saying illogical things, doing stupid things. They go, I don't want to be associated with that. So I'm going to vote for this other side that wants to clamp down on their rights because obviously they're a bunch of crazies. And that's what I'm coming to you today. I'm asking you guys to self-reflect. And I know not all of you really get upset or have your blood pressure raised or rant and rave online. But there are some of you that do. And as I said, I appreciate your passion. And I'm glad that you guys are ready to fight and defend our rights. But I also think that this battle needs to be won in the sphere of culture and influence of the other people that we can get to our side. And we're not going to do that through anger and manipulation. We're going to do it through logic, reason, facts, and kindness. You know, as the saying goes, you catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar. And right now I feel like the gun world and the gun community is full of a lot of vinegar. I see it maybe more than others because I'm a content creator. I know not all of you are like that, so please don't take it personally. But look around the gun community and ask yourself, what can I do to lower the temperature? What can I do to educate people with facts and knowledge? Still keep them vigilant and keep them focused on what's important instead of just being angry all the time. There's no need to be angry. You don't want to go over the edge when it comes to this stuff and make the community look bad. As they say when you're on an airline, and if the airliner loses pressure, you need to put your mask on first before you help others. Why is that? Because you have to be in a sound state of mind for you to help others. You need to take care of yourself first. You need to be calm. And that's what the gun community needs more of. People that are calm, doing the right things and representing our community in the best light possible. So once again, ask yourself, what can you do to better our community without being angry? You can still have that passion, but try to bring the temperature down and help others who might not understand how our system works stay calm. And stop allowing social media influencers, especially the pro-gun ones, get your emotions up and get you all fired up every single week on things that might not be all that important. That's all I got to say about that. I'm just asking you guys to stay calm. And I know you guys want me to say it again. Calm the F down, right? Calm the F down. It's all you got to do. Put things in perspective. Be kind to others, especially those in the gun community. And let's just all be nice to each other and work together. Because if we're a unified group, we could be unstoppable, especially in the culture war. So I'm curious what you guys think about this, and I'm looking forward to seeing your comments in the comments section below. And if you made it to the end, thank you so much. It means a lot, and I hope you guys like these commentaries. But I feel like I need to make them every week from time to time, especially when I feel like there's something that I need to address. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.